And that's where we keep our focus this morning, looking at the killings in Benue State and efforts to try to resolve those crises that are happening. And we're being joined by Mr. Shadrach Madlion. He's a farmer from our Abuja studios. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on Sunrise Daily this morning, as our hearts goes out to those who were killed in those attacks. Now, you're a farmer. What would you say about the anti-open grazing bill? What's your thoughts about that bill?
Grief-stricken faces.
Well, first of all, I want to take in my sympathy to the people of Benue State. 73 people are not 73 goats or cow. It's an irreplaceable loss. My heart bleeds for the people of Middle Belt. My heart bleeds for the state that produce 27% of the tubers. I'm talking about yam. My heart bleeds for the people that make sure that 16% of food condiments on the tables of Nigeria. My heart bleeds for the food basket of the country. My heart bleeds for a state that produces 23% of the oranges in this country. My heart bleeds for where 287,000 metric tons of fresh tomatoes and chili peppers come from Wanune, Lagoon, Afuru, Otonkom, and the rest here. But what can one say? You just asked the question, what is my role on the open grazing bill? When you do things the same old way and you expect new results, then you must be insane. The grazing reserve, the gazetted programs on our cattle, or what to call the grazing bills, is something that we should have done over time. We have 422 gazetted grazing points across the country, overtaken by human activities. Climate change has affected them. We had, as at the time Nigeria was under 12 to 19 years, this is when this whole thing in Yobe, we have 23 grazing reserves. Between Niger State and Ilorin, we have another 56, with the highest point in the northeast. That came to 423. We're not 250 million people as of when we had these grazing points. So ranching has to come into play, because ranching, taking a cow to move from Sokoto to Umahia, or moving a cow from Gashua to Lagos by road, do not enhance milk quality, makes our cow one of the poor-looking cows in the world. Poverty triangle manifests in the looks of our cow. You take a cow who does not give you the required milk as it is required. We cannot compete with our neighbors in Ethiopia, Sudan, Mali, Bobo de la So, where 47% of the livestock we eat in Nigeria comes from. I am using this opportunity, this is my own opinion, a professional opinion as a man who has been in this field, that Nigerians, enough of this blame game, but two people must take responsibilities of neglecting their roles. The Honorable Minister for Agric, the Director for Livestock Services, the Ministry for Environment in Nigeria, who has failed in their responsibility in bringing to the federal government the first African country the president paid visit to was Kenya. He went to Kenya with the Honorable Minister for Agric to look at livestock value chain, to look at grazing bills, to look at what we need to adopt from our neighbor, the Center for Ihiri, which is in Kenya. And they came back, what was there? Now we're talking about, the Honorable Minister said he was going to go to Brazil to bring in grass. It makes no sense. We've been producing haze. We developed haze in 1976, 1977 in ABU, in NAPRI. where Professor Saro, who is a illustrious son of Benue State, was a former vice chancellor from here. The Ministry of Agric has got a department of livestock that should be able to tell you when we have flock of livestock coming in from Gashua, when livestock are coming in from Megeteri through Niger, when livestock are coming in through Miadua, through Chad. 42% of the livestock we consume in Nigeria comes in from our neighboring countries. Now, if those old gazetted points have been overtaken by human activities, climate change, drought, between where this crisis is from, between Afru, Logo, and Goma, had 36 water tributaries. The crisis, the biggest problem of this crisis is water and fodder and land. Where we have this crisis today, the border between Taraba and Benue State used to have 36 or 37 water tributaries, 18 from the left flank and the remaining ones at the right flank. Now, the Ministry of Environment failed in their responsibilities in using today modern technology, satellite imagery data system, to understand that this route, these cattle routes, have been overtaken by silt, drought, climate change. That is no longer, we cannot use the 1960, the 1970 application in 21st century. They failed in their responsibility. As the people, families are wailing in Benue State, did you see the Honorable Minister for Agric there? He is from Benue State. He has deemed it fit from not living up to his responsibilities. The Anchor Growers program that was designed, over 500 billion went on it here. The livestock farmers will never benefit on it here. We never
let me come in here
took
again.
responsibilities in here.
Mr. Badlian, let me just come in here. My apologies. Do you think, for instance, now that the talks going around seems to suggest that if Benue State is being under siege or being attacked by this herdsmen, it does seem to suggest that if you attack Benue, seen as the food basket of the country, then you are launching an attack on the whole of the country. How well are farmers in Benue State, for instance, and maybe some other middle belt states, are they able to get to their farms today to farm? What do you see as the ripple, short, medium to long-term effects of what has happened in Benue?
We lost 47% of farmers' participation 2016-2017 agricultural year. Farmers were not going to Safe, Bukuyum, Talata Mafara. This is in Zamfara. We had the same issues. Mr. Ali, Bokos, Kwo in Plateau. I watched Channel Kinley when somebody came in to sit in the same channel television to talk about the clashes between herdsmen and vegetable farmers, where 47% of the Nigerian vegetables comes in from here. The only state that grows Irish potato, and that is Plateau State here. I think the Ministry of Interior must begin to look at, is there anybody that is trying to cripple Nigerian food naval points? Why is it that all the attacks in the entire whole country is focused in all our vegetational exchange points, where our major point of food comes into this country? Do they want to kill us? Between January 31st of December and 4th of January, Nigeria lost 157 people. Are we in war? The amount of people that are displaced in Nigeria outweigh the number of people that are in South Sudan that have been in war. Government must live up to his responsibilities. The primary responsibility of government is to protect life and property. We should not think about next election, but we should think about next generation. And that is our responsibilities here. My heart bleeds. I'm not a proud citizen of this country anymore.
Let me come in here again.
I've lost my friends.